Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to today's video podcast. And the topic of today is how to bring out the best in your child with additional needs. This is a topic that actually is so relevant to the mothers that I work with. Like at least half of my clients have children with additional needs and they're struggling. They're struggling to bring out the best in their children. And so they come and get some help. And I see something that is very common, that they come for help with that holds them back. And I wanted to jump on today and say to you, if you have children with additional needs, then, there's certain things you need to be aware of that's going to make the journey so much easier for you to actually help your child shine. And it's not really talked about this topic. The struggles that mothers go through, especially, cultural perspectives of children with additional needs, it's often something that actually we feel ashamed about, we feel embarrassed about, we're worried about what other people will think and whether they will blame us and whether, do they think it's my fault? Is this a punishment from Allah? And I really wanted to jump on today and help you with this if you have children with additional needs and you're wondering, if in some way this is your fault. Because I want to say to you, my sister, Alhamdulillah, Allah loves you and Allah loves your child, and there is no punishment in this, trial that is upon you. And in fact, it's every child is a gift from Allah, whether they have additional needs that, are medical or social or, academic. Every child has different needs and every child has challenges. It's just that certain challenges may be more obvious. It may be that certain challenges need, a different type of support or intervention. Um, and that's all that it is. But there is, like we've really got to get away from this idea of normal. Tell me what is normal. There is no normal child, there's no normal adult, there's no normal mum, there's no normal that we are always comparing ourselves against. We see someone who is struggling, you know, like us, but then we see someone who's not, and we think that's the norm. That person who's not struggling is the norm. And tell me, sisters, even if people don't appear like they're struggling, or they don't struggle in this aspect, they struggle in others. Who does not struggle? Who is not tested? Who does not have challenges? Tell me one person in the world whose life went according to their plan. And I tell you what, when you look at that plan and you stop for a moment, like pause this recording, pause this video and just stop for a moment, take 5 minutes. And in that 5 minutes, time yourself, write down, exactly what you had hoped your life would look like, how you had planned it. And then you tell me if in there, in that plan, what was there any room for mistakes? Was there any room for, you know, um, in normal human imperfections? Was there any space for, like for you to make a mistake or your child to make a mistake or your child to not be to how we consider different? No, but your child's not different. Your child is a child. We're all children, like all of our children are just children and we are all just human. We are all the same. And every human being has different challenges and different needs, and some people are aware of, some people aren't. Some cause us to struggle in some aspect, but some cause us not to struggle, in different aspect. But there is no one who isn't tested. There is no one who has a perfect life. There is no one who is normal. I want to throw that out the window right now, okay? Because the moment that you can stop worrying about what, why you're why are you being tested in this way, or why are you being chosen for this trial? The moment you stop doing that, you find the gift in this trial. And a trial in terms of, I consider a trial in terms of not as a loss, but in something that isn't going the way you hoped. And that happens to everyone all the time. We may not necessarily hope for a child with additional need. That might not be what we ask for because we ask for the best of health, right? However, when you are gifted with the gift of a child, then they are special, like every child in the world. And a child is never, a punishment for you, even if there are challenges there. Like the moment that we think, why is this happening? Why Allah did you give me this? We might not even add the word Allah in there, the name of Allah in there because we don't want to question Allah. But when we say why, who are we questioning but Allah? And the problem with the why is it disconnects you from Allah. So if you've been asking yourself why, why has this happened? You might not have a child with additional needs, but you might have a child who's very challenging, for example, and you're asking yourself why. Then know that that why disconnects you from Allah. So you don't want to be asking the question of why is this happening? you know, um, and then trying to find a reason, because will you ever find a reason? Could you ever know? Would you be able to put it on something or blame someone or pin it on that's the reason or this is what's happening? We're never going to know. But that speculation that will keep you, searching for an answer that you don't need. You don't need to know, you know, like why you're being tested. What you want to know, because we know why we are tested. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants growth for you. He wants the best for you. He wants to raise you in Jannah. And every opportunity that comes, whether it's what we want or what we didn't expect, is an opportunity for you, to raise yourself and your status, in Jannah, in front of the eyes of Allah, to be more pleasing, to improve your character, to improve what's in your heart. And so I want you to say, to know that no matter what people say, and some family members, I hear from my clients, the sort of things that have been said to them, it's really harmful and harsh, what family members can say. And you need to ignore that. You need to absolutely ignore that, because there is no truth in it at all. You don't need to be aggressive with it. You don't need to be upset by it. That is that person's opinion, but it does not have a place in your life. What you want to do instead is actually know that Allah chose you and chose your child to get, for you, that there is an opportunity for you. There is a gift in this for you, that this child is going to bring out the best in you before you bring out the best in your child. That this child is a gift for you, as every child is. In fact, it doesn't matter what child, what the child's needs are, or, how well they behave, or how challenging they are, or, whatever it is, every child brings out the best in you. And so, and makes you, if you decide to take that journey, the journey that, for example, I take my mother's on, which is you want to not allow your challenges to bring out the worst in you. You want to become the best version of yourself. If you take a journey, you make a decision that I'm going to become the best I've ever been. That through my challenges, I'm going to become the best I've ever been. And I'm going to grow in who I am. And I'm going to become more pleasing, inshallah, to Allah. And I'm going to grow closer to Allah. Then haven't you already just taken a huge leap from the despair and negativity of why to the hope of, Allah's pleasure and reward and opportunity? Isn't that amazing? And you have to make a decision. Where do you want to raise your child? From which place do you want to raise them? From a place of, why is this happening to me? Because I tell you, if that's what you're struggling with, or what people will think, if you think, why is this happening to me? Then naturally your child is going to feel that they are some sort of burden for you. There's some sort of, difficulty for you. And that is not going to help them in their own, adjustments that they need to make, right? Um, or if you're, thinking, well, what are other people going to think? Then that embarrassment that you have, that fear of embarrassment, that's going to really impact your child, because they're going to feel like you're ashamed of them. And again, either they may go quite quiet, or they may become quite, rebellious or hyperactive, almost rebelling, because there's nothing to be ashamed of. They're a gift from Allah. They're Allah's creation. Allah makes no mistake, and we all have different challenges. There is no normal. And, when we understand that, actually we can just help every single one of our child, whatever whatever their character, whatever their behavior, whatever their challenges, we can just help each one of our children become the best they can. And for that to happen, you've got to make a decision if you're going to get stuck in the why, or are you going to take this opportunity to become the best of yourself. You're going to grow through this, and then you're going to help your child grow. Because what I do then is I help the clients I work with to be able to overcome, their own mental emotional barriers, like the ones I've mentioned, like the ones that they've gone through, maybe the hurt, the the guilt, sometimes have I done something wrong? So we've got to overcome that because if you stay in that, it's going to impact your child. And then when you've overcome that, then what you can do and is what happens is it's no longer about you. You have this gift and you're going to nurture your child and you're going to nurture them to have the best life, that they can have. And they're going to have a great life because you love them, you accept them. The best gift you can give your child is that you accept them. And when you accept them, they will thrive. When you love them for who they are, they will thrive. And they need that from you more than anything. But that might mean that you've got to work through some issues that you're having, and that's okay. Those issues are very, very common, you know. And then there is the whole, okay, I have these issues, I'm struggling, I don't know how to manage. There's the whole overwhelm. Okay, fine, let's deal with that. But what you will find is that when you are in a state of full acceptance, your child calms down. The overwhelm goes away. Things become easier because they're feeling your tense, your stress, your panic, and our children will mirror that. Even children who, I've got so many clients that have children that are nonverbal, and yeah, they are so differently behaved on the days that their mom is calm and relaxed and carefree, just, going about her day versus the days that she's stressed and she's trying to get so many things done so that, you know, she feels like, people will be happy with her husband will be pleased with her, other people will see how good she is. Sometimes we feel like we've got to then prove ourselves in a different way. We've got to prove ourselves in different areas because somehow now, people are going to look at us negatively. No. When we take all of those pressures off, when we take all of those, barriers away, you're just free to love your child and help them shine. That's what you need to do. And you need to be in a good space to do that. And that might mean that you've got to come and work through your, your barriers, your emotional blocks. You might need to do that work. But it is so worth it because your child needs your acceptance and your love. And I'm not saying you don't, but when there is a why there, then we're not quite accepting our situation. But of course, you love your child, but we need to accept. We need to submit. In other words, we are submitting. We're submitting to the will of Allah. We accept wholeheartedly that it doesn't mean anything bad. I think what makes it difficult for us to accept sometimes is when we think it means something bad. Who wants to accept that? It means that, my child isn't going to be successful. Of course, it depends how you change the way you see success, right? SubhanAllah, there are so many special qualities in children with special and additional needs, right? That you see um, when, like, they're gifted. They're gifted, but you have to see past what you see as the disadvantage or the challenge or where they haven't been given what others have been given, for example. When you see past that, you see that your child has a special gift from Allah and you want to help nurture that gift. So don't focus on what you don't think they have. Focus on, finding their gift and helping them bring that out. And for you to do that, you got to work through your barriers, right? There are because you are tested. There's going to be some, but work through it because you've got a job to do, my sister. You've got to, help this child bring out their special gift because every human being in the world, you included, it has a special gift to bring to the world. We have our challenges. I said that we all have our challenges, but you also have a special gift. You have one, your child has one, all your children have them. Your husband has a special gift. And we want to stop looking at our differences. Honestly, this will make such a big difference. If we as human beings did this, if we stopped looking at our differences and we looked at what made us similar, our similarities, how we're the same, and I'll tell you how we're all the same. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made us special, and we have a special gift for the world in one way or another. We have something, and we want to bring out that gift in ourselves and our children, because that is how we grow to where our potential really is. That is why we have been given a test, so that we do something amazing with it. And I really hope that this video podcast um, has really been what you needed to hear, because I have to say it quite a few times, when a new client comes in who has children with additional needs, I have to kind of help them overcome these barriers. And, that when they get to this place, they are like the best they've ever been. You see amazing things happen with their children. Children who have been having a lot of struggle adjusting to school, children who have been, dealing with really a lot of challenging behavior, children who are really clingy. You see things just calm. But for that to happen, you have to be at calm. So whatever is getting in your way of your calm, let's deal with that. Get in touch. Let's have a chat. And let's help bring out the best in you and your child. There's a special gift there waiting. And you're going to bring it out, inshallah. Because Allah chose you, no one else. Assalamu alaikum, rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.